Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. So here we are back in Wayloon. You can access Wayloon from Evening Star. It's kind of in the northern half there. And then we're going to make our way up through the Wayloon docks, all the way up into the prison itself. Now we've already done 3 of the quests out here. We have 1 more to do, which is actually the one directly north of us here, the Merchant's Townhouse. Unfortunately, we can't just head north. Now, there is a little stipulation to that one. One, you can actually use this here to teleport to the quest, which is Thrill of the Hunt. It does cost 3 Astral Shards. As well, if you have already completed the quest through the Mirror Darkly, which is actually the final part of this chain, which you can't do until after you've completed this quest here. So on subsequent runs, you can actually head north here, talk to the Magic Mouth, and it will actually open the door for you. The other option is if you have somebody who's already run around, they can pull that lever to drop the door. Aside from that, you are stuck running all the way around. So we're going to just get right to that there. Alright, so you do want to head up to the northern wall here. And again, just head all the way around the side. Now, if you haven't yet been in that area like we haven't here, it is very easy to know exactly where that kind of line is when you're running around to these other quests. Alright. Okay, so we're getting there. It is just a little bit of a run. Now, typically speaking, when you are doing these, I definitely recommend to hit them all like in a subsequent order. So if you're looking at my last video, it shows us how to get to the Army of Shadow, which is the Netherese Recruiting Center. At which point, once you are at the Netherese Recruiting Center, which is just actually up over this here, heading this direction. Once you've done this section here, you would want to just head north and through the gates here. So this is kind of where we were coming around here. Now again, it's just the most direct path, and if you are just leaving from the quest heading straight here, it does cut down on a lot of additional running. Now in this section here, we can have Eyes of Shadow, which are just a differently named beholder. So it's not really a unique monster as they are several of them, but they are unique to this area. Alright, so we want to head through the town here. And then we're going to kind of come to like a town center. Now in here, you can actually also run into spell wards and traps, so just watch yourself if you are running straight through. And then it'll come to the Decrepit Barn. Now you can head into the barn. There can sometimes be rare encounter in there. And our quest itself is just around the corner right here. Alright, so here we are. Step in and get this quest started. So the very first part of this quest, as soon as we head through the door there, it is going to come up with a conversation. So oftentimes you don't buff until after you step in. That way it just gives them time to actually do their conversation. As again, it's just a time consuming thing. Now, another thing to point out is this quest does have a fair amount of these Shardikai, That is this guy here with the twin daggers. They do have a very brutal chain attack. If you see them whirling their chain around, I definitely recommend to back out of the AoE, again, as it does just a large amount of damage. So there's actually the chain right there. So it did hit me once, it was for 50 damage. It wasn't too bad, but they also do stun effects and other things standing in that chain, so it adds up quick. From here, we do want to head up the stairs and through the door. Now, once we get in, we are going to be in kind of a hall. There are going to be doors on left and right. And again, here as well, left and right. And then a door directly in front of us heading north. Now, this door is locked and cannot be picked. In order to open it, you got to head into these side rooms. Now, in one of these side rooms, at the cluttered table, there will be a jeweled key. Now, as you can see, there are also enemies inside here. If you can sneak in and access the cluttered table, you can actually sneak in and, you know, avoid the fight altogether. Or, of course, if you're not able to do that, you can just do what I'm doing here, which is kill them all. And once they're all dead, if the key is on that table, then it will spawn in. Again, you can just check the table just to make sure. So here's a cluttered table. There's nothing there. So it's not this room. On to the next room. So it really is a kind of a bit of a guessing game on which table it is. Sometimes you luck out, get it first try. Other times I've had it where it was literally the last door I've tried. Now, certain rooms, as you see, this one only has 2 guards. The other one had several. Typically, you want to head to the ones that have less first, which would actually be the kind of the ones here on the western side. So like this one here as well. Okay. Well, third time's a charm, and there's the key. Now, of course, you can go in and kill everyone from all 4 of the rooms. Again, it does contribute to your kills, as well as breakable smashed. And obviously that one won't have. You'll also notice once you search it, it no longer becomes an interactable object. So it does really help to know which ones you have and which one you haven't, as well as your party as well. Once you have the key, you want to head north. And you're actually going to start encountering some shadows. So you'll hear them before you see them. Now, a lot of people tend to actually just run past these enemies, fighting with them further down the stairs. So there they are. Through the door. But because of the fact that once you're down here, it actually has a named fight here. I typically want to fight them before. Alright, so once this guy is dead, we can actually talk to this guy. Give us a little extra XP. And we got ourselves a shrine. Now, heading through the door, we got one more staircase here with, as you see, two guys at the bottom. And then once all of them are dead, again, we're going to head through the door. And there's actually going to be another similar room like the one we just passed, where there's a cage and some howlers. The difference is, instead of just one named howler, it is going to be a group of them. Now, there is a bit of a trick to this. And the first thing is, you actually want to attack, kind of get their aggro. And then you can actually close this door again. This does lock them in there, and obviously they cannot get to you. And if you have any type of blast damage, you can still get to them. So there you'll see as, you know, quickly disposing of these guys. But again, it takes a little bit longer, but you are safe. So playing it this way solo can definitely be handy, as you just gotta deal with a little bit of sonic damage, but overall a lot less than their actual melee. But does involve you having specific weapon types, which is some form of, you know, damage that can go through walls. Alright. Now that they are defeated here, we're going to grab our Pringles. They got both before and after. Another thing I would like to point out is you can actually hop up on these boxes and then head up and over onto the cage. Now, as you see, I did miss the jump. I am missing a little bit of jump on this character. But you can do it. Oh, or maybe they put that beam in their way now. Alright, so they might have actually fixed that jump spot there. Alright, yeah, so you're still able to get it from this side here. And then of course you can sit up top here, shooting the enemies from the bottom. Again, another little bit of a safe spot. From this point, you do want to continue south through the door. And like before, we're going to have a few more shadows spawning in. So first we're going to deal with these guys. And then we're going to have those shadows spawning in on us there. And apparently the shadow spawned a Fury Reaper. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so heading deeper in. More shadows and some hidden assassins, so do be careful. And we're actually going to come across a few more of these hidden assassins once we get a little bit farther down. And out here as well, you are going to run into some of the shadows. But right at the bottom of the stairs here, we can head south through the door. And it's going to provide us with a shrine. Now, a unique thing about this room here, we actually have a collectible here in the corner. It seems when the devs had actually placed it in, there's actually placed 2 of them. So once we select the cabinet, we can actually select again to get a second item out of it. So it does appear that there are 2 stacked directly on top of one another, which is also what's causing that little flare there. It's targeting the one but not the other. Alright, so from here you do want to head north. Reapers again. So heading north, you will come across a bunch of these shadows. We have some Shardakai, and with the large amounts of spawns, we also got a couple of Reapers in here as well, because why not? Alright, now that that's done, we do have 2 doors here. The door on our left... spoke a little too soon on that done part. So the door here to our left, which is this one here, is a locked door. This one can actually be picked and has a uniquely named shadow, which counts as an optional here. So let's go through this door. And here we are. So because it is a shadow, it does count as undead. And because it is not actually a red named, if you are a cleric or anything like that, you can turn the undead, which is amazing. Alright, so now that he's dead, we can go ahead and grab our loot, which, as you see, can drop some named items, though it is not common that this chest here drops named. So I definitely don't recommend re-rolling if that's something you were planning on doing. We can also get a rem chest if we get champs, of course. Alright. Now, the door directly in front of us here, this one, as you see, it is also locked. This one requires a key and cannot be picked. The key is located in one of 3 rooms. This one here. This one right here at the end. Or the one just off to the side here. And again, if you are doing Reaper, watch out, as there is a large spawn of shadows, as you can see, which also means large chance that Reapers can spawn in. So our key is located in one of these 3 rooms, and we'll spawn in once we kill the named enemy, which, again, one of these 3 rooms. So it's kind of a bit of a guessing game here, so it wasn't this one. Now try this one here to the north. And there we go. Now I have found that there can actually be 2 different types of named guys that it can. One of them being like a blackguard. Not a blackguard, but the other style, more paladin of the Shar worshippers, not the assassin. He typically spawns in the room just right here, if he is spawning in, and it seems when it's in this room here, it'll spawn in as the assassin type. So what type of enemy you are fighting does depend on which room it is spawned into. And again, once you're done, you can go ahead and just clear the other room. Alright, so now that we have our key, we've cleared the room, we can head through. Now, once we go through here, this door, it is a no return point. So if you do want a shrine, definitely recommend doing that before the end fight, as again, it is a no return. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to quickly rebuff myself before heading inside. Now, the end fight here, it used to have a way to make it a lot easier. And that was essentially that you could kill these hounds on the other side of the door before the fight actually starts. So you'd be able to come up to this point and kill them. They have since gone and changed that. There also used to be a stuck spot at the back where you climb up. Again, they have gone since and fixed that. I have actually found another way to make this one super easy for any type of range damage, and it is ridiculously stupid that it actually works. So before I get to that, I do want to explain this end fight. Now, what you want to do is you want to first approach the Shardakai here, talk to him, and it'll start the fight. So at first he does a little bit of dialogue, then we talk to him. While you are fighting him, he will spin his chain around. As he spins his chains, he will hit one of the 4 levers here. And these levers will then, which are locked right now, it will then start spewing a trap inside the center. You need to run back, pull the trap, and stop it from attacking him. Doing so will actually give you this optional of rescuing him. However, again, it is an optional. It does provide an extra end chest, but ultimately it is not required for the quest. All that is required is to kill this Shardakai right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to talk to him. We're going to start the fight, and the trick is actually you just hop up right here. They don't know how to path to this simple spot. So here's that chain he lashed out with. There he goes. So we were able to get that. As he reaches specific hit points, he does bring out his caged assistants, which will start attacking. So there's another trap. Every now and then he will find his way up top, but ultimately it's not too bad. Now if you are able to kill him before this guy dies, if there are any active traps, the traps will stop, as you see there, allowing us to essentially save him. Now, what makes Howlers so dangerous is this ability right here, this Howler Madness. Every now and then they'll chant that out. When they hit you with Howler's Madness, they will actually drop your wisdom here. If they hit you with enough of it, of course you'll be at 0 wisdom, meaning you are unable to cast spells and just simply attack. And if you are solo, that is a lot of Howlers to deal with at once. So again, just simply hopping up on these boxes right here can save your life. Now, I do want to point out, like I've mentioned right at the beginning, they are fairly notorious for fixing these stuck spots. So again, you used to be able to kill these Howlers before, now you cannot. There used to be boxes in this corner that you could hop up and actually hop on top of the cage. Again, those they fixed. So it's only a matter of time until, like at that rate, until they fix this here. But I did want to point that out right now. With these boxes the way they have them right here, even though it is easy to get up to and so many enemies can, for whatever reason, they have an issue like pathing up these boxes. So if you were able to kill everything quick enough and save the guy, I just want to open the door, talking to him, will give you that second chest. After that, grab your loot. And as you can see, they both can provide named chests, named loot drops. We didn't get any from the actual end chest, but we did get some from this optional one here, which I am going to take. And from here, all that's left is to recall. Now, if this is the last part of the chain that you've done, so you've done the other 4 quests to this point, we do need to head into town and turn in. Now, one thing I do want to point out before you do that, to make it super easy to get to the end section, and I actually do this method every time, you actually just want to go right here and hit the lever. This will open up the gate right here, allowing for a fast re-entry once you've turned in those quests. So again, so you'd open up the gate, obviously kill anything if they're coming after you, and then you'd recall out, you turn in your 4 quests, pick up the final part, and then from the beginning, you just hop up in here and hit right back here, and it brings us almost right at the end quest. So again, thank you all for watching. I hope it was informative, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.